too much of a burden on Patrick Mahomes this weekend, in my opinion. The defense is going to be a liability. Andrew Luck has a lot of playoff experience. You guys know better than I do. I think playoff experience matters. And I think when you go into a game knowing that the other team has a better other side of the ball, it puts more pressure on Patrick Mahomes. I think Patrick Mahomes will probably try to do a little too much, and Andrew Luck will be able to sit back and wait on his defense to make a play or two. This is what concerns me, Patrick Mahomes' lack of playoff experience and Andrew Luck having plenty of it.
I think playoff experience certainly matters. Good playoff experience really matters. And if you look at Andrew Luck, hasn't had the best playoff experience if you talk about his numbers and really dive into them. So I'm going with Patrick Mahomes, who won 75% of his games with that limited defense. I'm going with a guy who, even when he presses and has a quote-unquote bad game, means 6 touchdowns and 5 turnovers. Okay, that's a horrible game. He still lights up the scoreboard. But if you look at Andrew Luck, I'm going to use his numbers, his history against him. Indoor, he's undefeated in the playoffs. Okay, 3-0, 65% completion percentage, touchdown and interception ratio 7-4. But everything flips when Andrew Luck gets outside. And guess what, mama? It's going to be cold outside in Kansas City. And boy, that 1-3, 50% completion percentage coming off an injury now. Oh, look at that. More interceptions than touchdowns. So when you say history, he has his own doubt bird. As soon as he hits that field, and we've all been there, Arrowhead, you've been there more than all of us, there were 2 things I remember. One, damn, how many people out here wearing red? Like everybody, the sea of red, and also the volume. Now you add the element of the cold and his history of not performing well in those elements, I say Patrick Mahomes prevails.
Home of the Chiefs. I'm going with Patty Mahomes, man.
Yes.
Look, a lot of people always think, man, this is a bigger game. It's not a bigger game for Patrick Mahomes. It's the next game. As a player in that locker room, he's not thinking, oh, this is a playoff game. I gotta do a little bit extra. I got to do this or that. He's just going to go out there and be himself. All season he's played with this bad defense. All season he's known that, hey, I have to get the ball to this guy, that guy. I have to make plays with my feet. This isn't anything that's going to be different for him, going into this playoff game. Is it magnified because it's the playoffs? Yes, but it's because we all magnify it. I don't think Patrick Mahomes, I don't think Andy Reid magnifies this situation. And having a guy like Andy Reid on his side ultimately is why I always want to go with Patrick Mahomes, because I know how great Andy Reid is with scheming guys up. And this Colts defense, yes, they have played really good football. But what they do, the way they play defense, is a lot more zones. And I've seen Patrick Mahomes pick apart a lot of teams playing zone.
Yeah, there is no doubt in my mind both these quarterbacks that have come out and play outstanding this week. Patrick Mahomes, he's got 2 of the best offensive weapons in the NFL. And Travis Kelce, you could say, he was the All-Pro, and Tyreek Hill. I mean, these guys are unguardable. So Patrick Mahomes, playing the way he is right now, he's going to have success. Andrew Luck going against that defense, doo-doo number 1, doo-doo number 2. I don't even know if they're all going to be on the field. Coming out, but they have a week's rest, okay? And so they knew kind of what's coming. I do believe that they're going to be able to step up and play. Chris Jones is going to put pressure on Andrew Luck. 2003, remember 2003?
Absolutely.
We had the best offense in the league in the Kansas City Chiefs with Priest Holmes, greatest offensive line ever, and we played against Peyton Manning in the playoffs, had the first-round bye, and there was no punts in that game. That our defense gave up a lot of points. Their defense gave up a lot of points. So this game is probably going to come down to a turnover. But if I'm trusting somebody, it's got to be Patrick Mahomes. He's the MVP of the league. He's shown he can play in big games throughout the season. The pressure's been there already. Yeah. So I'm with you. This is just the next game up, and he's going to go out there, and I anticipate he'll have at least 4 touchdowns in this football game.
Yeah. Let me tell you the universe the Chiefs exist in right now, and Patrick Mahomes as well. And God bless him. I hope he plays his tail off. But right now, in sports talk radio in Kansas City and on TV in Kansas City, everybody is talking about the Chiefs' history in the playoffs. They've never won a home playoff game in the divisional round or in the AFC Championship. They've only won at home in the wild card round. Never.
Yeah.
And I've been there for a lot of these games, the number 1 seed and supposed to do this and that, and they choke it away. That's the conversation everybody in Kansas City is having. And trust me, on game day, that's like a piano on your back.
No, it's not, though. It's not, Whit, because it's not his piano. It's not his.
Right.
It's the guys that came before him. The sins of your father don't apply to you in this situation.
You're talking about me now, right?
Yeah. It's him. He's the one. But no, like at the end of the day, Patrick Mahomes, yes, he knows that. But he's looking like we all have been in that situation. Well, you guys haven't won a game and or you haven't won in this place. So, man, that wasn't me.
Yeah.
I wasn't on that team.
It's amazing we use tradition usually against someone, but never talk about the fact that we don't even give you tradition. You play for the Lakers right now. Guess how many rings you got? None. I mean, all that great tradition doesn't carry over. And guess what? The opposite doesn't carry over either. All this negative tradition. Okay, that was what they went through and their experiences. But Patrick Mahomes, the only time I saw him look rattled, and this is me digging, was when he had to go on the road to play the Patriots in the first half. There were a few throws I was like, oh, he playing against Tom Brady. And then the second half, he came out there and lit it up and only lost by 3 points.
You think about the wrong guy.
This dude is not rattled.
I know. Y'all talking about Patrick Mahomes. I'm talking about the guys on the headset. Andy Reid's got a history, too.
Yeah,
and Andy Reid has been a part of the Chiefs' history. And I'm just telling you, that conversation, and y'all know better than I do. But that conversation, I think, that's going on in Kansas City and justifiably going on, I think it does seep into the coaches and the players. And that kind of pressure, a lot of times, bust pipes.
I will use your words that you said yesterday against you. What jersey number does Andy Reid wear?
He does call the plays.
What number
he does call the
inactive?
play.
Is he inactive?
He does call the play, and he will abandon the running game at the first sign.
Well, see, and to the heart of that, that's something that we aren't really talking about, or no one's really talked about. Kareem Hunt. Like, not having that guy, it made that team a lot different because he was a guy that you could just give the ball to, and kind of like the Rams do with Todd Gurley, kind of like the Saints do with Alvin Kamara. It doesn't matter where you get this kid the ball. He was making plays back out the backfield. He was optioning routing guys. He was handing the ball off to him. The read option game was going strong. Not having him kind of, to me, puts Kansas City back down to earth a little bit because he was an X factor that you talk about Tyreek Hill and Kelsey. He was right in that same category with those guys. And so that's hurting that team.